Charlesease, everything you need to know, man. Right back in the news. Let's talk some more boxing. About a day ago, Gary Russell, he went on Fred's channel, Silent Heroes. Had an interview, and somehow the situation. Gary Russell, he was, basically calling out Devin Haney, said they was ducking him, and somehow Terrence Crawford name come up to pound for pound #1 fighter in the world. Accomplished a lot. Gary Russell accomplished a lot. Gary Russell, longest standing champion in boxing currently. Gary Gary Russell and Gary Russell get to talking this shit. And him and Devin Haney's dad, they going back and forth. A little bit of fireworks, nothing major, but Gary Russell, he was kind of in like a calm manner, just he was spitting venom and shit, like, you feel me? It's crazy, like, cause you usually think a motherfucker gonna be all rah-rah and loud, but this nigga was just kind of talking the inside voice, but he was throwing darts, and then Terrence Crawford's name came up. He was basically like, oh yeah, I broke Terrence's jaw. You feel me? Crazy shit. Niggas is like, where did this come from? So I think it was like some trials when they was coming up, Olympic trials, like, nationals or something. I think it was something for the Pan Am Games. So Gary Russell was like, Carl Dargan got the best of Terrence Crawford in sparring. Terrence Crawford asked Gary Russell, like, what you think went on in this round? He was like, was he moving or was he running? He was like, so Gary Russell gave an explanation. Terrence Crawford ain't like it, so Terrence said he was basically like, nigga, I'll beat your little ass, and to keep it all real, such and such just whooped your ass in the race. Who is you to be talking to me? This is what Terrence Crawford is telling Gary Russell, like, such and such just beat your ass. He said shit. So Crawford said he was telling the coach, hey, coach, put us in the ring. Then he said whatchamacallit socked him. You know what I mean? He said he socked him. So he was basically saying shit. Everybody got Terrence Crawford out of there. Terrence Crawford was like, shit. If Gary Russell was such rah-rah, why they get me out of there and leave him there at the training facility? You feel me? At the, whatever it was, the Pan Am Games training situation, whatever it was, where we was like, why did they get me out the building and leave it? He said, because they knew I would crush your little ass if I stayed around that camp and stayed around that facility. So they exit me out, they sent me home, basically, and shit. But Terrence Crawford on Fight Hype, he went on to basically, he was telling that story, And he was just, he said Gary fighter, he said he a great fighter, great talent, and he wish him all the best. After Terrence Crawford said he'll break his motherfucking neck, it ain't gotta be in the ring, he could be in the street fight. He said, I'll break your motherfucking neck, you too little. And then, he kind of went on to wish him, like, yo, I wish you the best. I even had you winning against Vasily Lomachenko, but nigga, you popped off with this shit recently that you crazy for that shit. Yeah, but he was like, I beat your little ass, but I wish you all the best. So, here it is, Terrence Crawford explaining the whole situation when Gary Russell hit him, man.
Carl Dargan had words, competitive sparring match. So we had to stop sparring because we got too heated in the sparring match. So Dan pulled us out. Yeah, he got the better of me. He outboxed me. He got the better of me. He did his thing that day. But not to mention, Mark Davis beat the fuck out of Gary Russell that day. That's why he really got mad. You know what I mean? He after the sparring match, he tried to say, yeah, he was getting you, Terrence. And I replied, well, let's not talk because Mark Davis just beat your ass. So what you mean? You know what I mean? Then he gets up, he talking rah, rah, rah. I told him to his face, I will smash you, little guy. You know what I mean? I'm talking to Coach Dan. Coach Dan, you know what I mean? Like, put us in the ring. Boom. Next thing I know, he socked me. Cool. I ate it. Didn't fall, no nothing. He had a clear cut shot. Didn't fall, no nothing. Looked at him. I'm gonna kill you. They grabbed me. Don't grab me. Let me go. Tell me this. How can a person that's not even on the team, he wasn't in the Pan Am, he wasn't fighting in the Pan Am, how can a person that's not even on the team hit me and I get sent home? Tell me why I get sent home. Why I get kicked off the Pan Am? I was number one in the nation at that time. I was number one USA. Why did I get kicked off the team? He's so rah-rah, he's so tough. Why did they send me home and kept him there? These is questions that we need to be asked. Because they knew I was going to fuck his little ass up. And he talking now, if I don't like what he's saying, then he'll come up to 147 and fight me. I laughed at that shit. Like, dude, we don't even gotta fight in the ring. You socked me off guard and couldn't even drop me. If we was to fight right now in the streets, I'll break your fucking neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I would break your neck. Come on, man. You still at 122, bruh. Like, man, you need to be worried about fighting them little guys. Chasing Lomachenko, the one that beat the fuck out of you. And I actually had you winning for that fight. I actually was pulling for your bitch ass. You know what I mean? But he beat your ass, though. He beat the fuck out of you. So don't be saying my name, how you fucking sucker punch me and try to get some fame off my name, my dude. Because we all know what happened. If you ain't gonna tell the true story, don't open your fucking mouth, my dude. And the only reason why I'm getting on here, because I don't do this shit, my nigga. I don't talk about none of that shit. Because I'm a real one. If I got a problem with you, I'll address it. You know what I mean? When I seen you, you know what said and how you carried.
Yeah, so basically, man, we all know this fight would never happen. Gary Russel, he fight at 122. Terrence Crawford, he fight at 147. He probably walking around at 170, 165 or something, man. This shit will never happen. So Terrence Crawford was basically saying Gary Russel and Ray Robinson is clout chasing. Gary Russel said Ray Robinson, who was the last man to beat Terrence, and the amateurs will be a good fight for Terrence now. I mean, Terrence will kill him. It's a backstory there, but Terrence will crush him, man. And Gary Russell was just pumping that shit up like, yo, that'll be a good fight. He's slick, but Gary Russell know Terrence will crush that nigga Ray Robinson, man. Slick boxer, very highly touted in the amateurs. Matter of fact, in the amateurs, Ray Robinson had more backing than Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford took a hell of a route, man. He went under everybody's radar, man. He got noticed when he was sparring Timothy Bradley and told Bob Aaron, Bob, it's this kid, man. You gotta sign him. So Terrence Crawford, he got a right to have a little chip on his shoulders. He was looked over. He went under everybody's radar. I mean, he took a role less travel. All these other guys, they highly touted, coming out of the amateurs, decorated. Woo, woo.